Welcome back to the Big Lab Podcast, the space where we have real, no BS conversations about confidence, mindset, and how to show up better in your own life. Today's episode is called Reclaiming Time, saying no without guilt. But just before we start, you may have noticed my t-shirt that I wore in the last episode with Sophie. I've worked with a company to design some podcast t-shirts, which will soon be available to you guys so that you can show your support. They're a great quality, unisex, oversized, but fitted t-shirt, and they're 100% organic cotton. Keep an eye out for a link, they'll be available soon, and make sure you follow me on Instagram at the Big Lab Podcast for updates. Now, let's get on with the episode. So let me ask you this. Have you ever said yes to something you knew you didn't want to do, just to keep the peace, to not disappoint someone, to avoid conflict? Same here. But what happens next? You do the thing anyway. You feel drained, resentful, and then beat yourself up for not having stronger boundaries. This is what today is about. We'll get into why it's so hard to say no, the hidden cost of people pleasing, how setting boundaries actually makes you stronger, not colder, and real world tools to start reclaiming your time and energy. We often think being a yes person is the kind thing to do, but over time, those yeses become a trap. You end up overcommitted, stressed out, and weirdly disconnected from your own life. Because when you say yes to everything, you're not really choosing, you're reacting. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will, which is a great quote from Greg McKeown. In one study from Columbia Business School, researchers found that people often say yes to avoid social awkwardness, even if it leads to burnout. It's called social accommodation bias. Basically, I'd rather suffer than risk disappointing someone else. That's not kindness, that's self-abandonment. And here's the irony, when we constantly say yes, we show up worse. Less patient, less present, more irritated, more burnt out. So that nice guy routine, it backfires. So why does no feel so loaded? A few reasons. Number one, guilt. You've been trained to think of no as rejection. Number two, fear. The fear of missing out, losing friends, being judged. Number three, identity. You've built your image around being available or easygoing. But let me offer this. Guilt is not always a signal that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it's just a sign that you're breaking a dysfunctional pattern. And FOMO, it's really about what we're actually missing. It's about being seen, included, approved of. The truth? Not every invitation is meant for you. Not every opportunity is aligned. Sometimes you're forcing yourself into spaces that you've already outgrown. Here's the reframe. Boundaries are not rejection, they're clarity. When you say no, you're not rejecting the person, you're honouring your priorities. And that kind of clarity builds trust and confidence. Let me ask you, who do you respect more? Someone who always says yes, then flakes, or someone who says, hey, I can't do this, but when they show up, they're all in. Boundaries make your yeses mean something. Dr. Brené Brown talks about this often. She says, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. And research from the University of Houston found that people with clear boundaries report a higher self-esteem, less anxiety, and better relationships. Here's a tip. Instead of thinking of boundaries as shutting people out, think of them as protecting your best energy. You're not building walls, you're choosing who gets access to your time. Let's be real, not everyone will like your boundaries. Some people will push back, not because your boundary is wrong, but because it stops them from getting something they're used to. You might hear, you've changed, you're being selfish. Come on, don't be boring. This is key. Let them react, let them adjust. You're not responsible for other people's feelings about your boundaries. What you are responsible for, how you protect your peace. One of the most empowering things I've learned is this. You don't have to explain your no. No is a complete sentence. Let me give you a real example from my life. There was a phase where I said yes to every invite, favour and quick thing, because I didn't want to let anyone down. Until one weekend, I had back-to-back plans, zero energy, and by Sunday, I was mentally cooked. I started saying no with intention, not from a place of anger, but from alignment. One message at a time. Hey, I'm protecting my time this weekend, gonna sit this one out. Appreciate the offer, but I've got a full plate. Can't do it, but wishing you well. You know what happened? People respected it. Some even said, I need to do more of that. Let's get practical. Here's how to start saying no with confidence and respect. Tool number one, the delay. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. This gives you space to pause and decide consciously. Number two, soft no, firm boundary. I'd love to help, but I can't take that on right now. You acknowledge the request, but you protect your capacity. Tool number three, no apology needed. That doesn't work for me, not. sorry, I wish I could, but. Here's a roleplay scenario you can use. Mate, hey, we're all doing a big night out Friday. You in? Your response? Sounds fun, but I'm actually keeping Friday free to reset. Have a good one though. Boom. Honest, confident, no guilt. Let me land this for you. Saying no is one of the most powerful skills you'll ever build. It protects your time, strengthens your confidence, and helps you live with intention, not obligation. So your challenge for this week is simple. Say one intentional no without guilt, over-explaining, or apology. Then notice how it feels, what it frees up, what kind of self-respect it reinforces. And if someone reacts badly, that tells you more about them than it does about you. So DM me or tag the Big Lab Podcast. I'd love to hear how you're reclaiming your time. Make sure to follow, rate the show, and share this episode with one mate who never says no, even when he should. Until next time, be bold, be kind, protect your time, and I'll see you in the next one.